Hi, this is Ghost Aaron, welcome back, and today I have got you a flawless gameplay. This is quite a rare moment for me in Battlefield 1. It's very difficult to go flawless in this game. It's such a hectic game and so much is going on all of the time. Whether it's the excessive amount of grenades that are thrown constantly, the gas grenades that just sort of plume out, covering the whole battlefield, or the hundreds of snipers that are lining all of the walls of the map. It is very difficult to stay alive in this game. On top of which, I have quite an aggressive playstyle, which is usually a little bit too balls to the wall, and I don't really pay enough of attention to everything. I tend to see an objective and go, you know, I'm going straight for that. To hell with everything else. That is my only goal at this point. And I don't really kind of consider what I'm running through, past, or into. If I took that sort of half a step back, I might survive a little bit more. And that's what I did today. I took a little bit more time thinking about what I was going to do, and it resulted in a flawless gameplay. I have got a couple of these flawless gameplays before, but they have predominantly been in tanks and armoured vehicles. Now that said, I am in some form of armour. It's not really a vehicle, but I am in armour. And they did get a little bit of a buff in the last patch. If you didn't realise, in the patch notes from the last patch, they got an increase to their health regeneration. Prior to the patch, their health regeneration was awful. All the elite classes, you had to sit in one corner for about 5 minutes without taking any damage before you started regenning health. They've now reduced that to an actual sensible time, so you can kind of self-sustain yourself a little bit, even if you don't have any medics around. Fortunately, in this game, I did actually have some medics around who did heal me a couple of times when I really did need it. Yes, the health regeneration is useful, but there are moments where you do get bum rushed by about 3 or 4 people, and you do need that extra health regen. So having your odd medic around does help you. The biggest thing with this class is you run out of ammo an awful lot, and very surprisingly, I had support players who were chucking ammo packs down all the time. Now, this class is absolutely insane, or more specifically, this weapon is absolutely insane. It has such a short time to kill, it shreds everyone and anything, even the other SENTRY classes or the elite classes. It kills them so quickly, they don't even really have time to register that you're in front of them before they're dead. Now, bringing me on to the other SENTRY class, which is why it's so much weaker, is because it's got such a long time to kill, because it's got a slow rate of fire LMG. It's also got really bad accuracy. Because of the way it works, you have to fire it for a longer period of time for it to tighten up its hip fire. This starts out with insanely good hip fire. As proved by this point here, I'm able to nearly kill this sniper at an insanely long range just hip firing him, and there's a fair few other moments where I can able to hit people from quite good range just hip firing them. And that's where the other one suffers so much, is because it's got that long time to kill, because it has to build up before it gets more accurate. It just gets dominated and you take so much unnecessary damage with it. And I feel that's why you can't really go on the same streaks or get the amount of kills you can with this. That said, I do have considerably more kills with it. I think I've got sort of 400 or 500 kills with the normal SENTRY class, whereas I have 90 with this one. And 46 of those kills came from this specific gameplay. I do apologise for this little moment. My internet had a little bit of a mare and lagged out a little bit, so I thought I was going to die there, or I was very convinced I was going to die at this specific point. So I ran away and hid in a corner, and then found someone hiding in a corner that I was trying to hide in, which was a little bit inconvenient to say the least. But because this weapon is so strong, I was able to kill him. Now, saying how strong this weapon is, I said it's got an insane rate of fire, and I was trying to work out how Italy managed to make a weapon that had an 1800 RPM rate of fire at the time when pretty much every other army was using predominantly bolt action weapons. So I had to look this up, and I thought, you know what, DICE had probably made some artistic liberties with this thing to make it that beast of a SENTRY weapon. Now, that said, it was a weapon that was predominantly designed for use as the tail gunner on a plane. So it was designed to take out other aircraft, which is why it had 2 barrels. But it did fail on that premise. Predominantly for the fact, I've said predominantly quite a lot. It failed on that fact because it only fired a 9mm round, which meant it didn't really do enough damage. And as the war progressed, the armour got a little bit better on the planes, so it wasn't really very effective. So it was traded out for a weapon with a higher caliber round, and was then brought in as an infantry weapon. It started out as being mounted on a variance of different things, but they ended up just having it as a sort of shoulder-mounted thing, which is like it is here. Now, where I said it had artistic liberties taken with it, I thought DICE might have buffed the rate of fire to make it that sort of special elite class worthy weapon. They actually nerfed its rate of fire. The real world version of this weapon had a 3000 RPM rate of fire. Each one of these SMGs that are taped together here, or bolted together, had approximately a 1500 RPM rate of fire, which is absolutely ludicrous. The amount of bullets that this weapon is able to put down range is nuts. Could you imagine how ridiculous this thing would be if it had a 3,000 RPM rate of fire? I mean, it already kills people so quickly that you can't really register it. If it had that, if it literally had nearly 1,200 RPM higher rate of fire than it already has, it would be insane. Also, I have to point out, look at that guy hanging from the roof just by one hand, casually just swinging away. I gotta love the way people, when they get blown up, they get sort of wedged in things. It's always hilarious. The ragdolls in this game is so good. But yeah, could you imagine if it had 3,000 RPM? Also, on top of that, it did have, each one of the clips had a 25 round magazine. So in the real world application, it had a 50 round capacity. I think if it had a 50 round capacity and 3,000 RPM, it would be the most broken thing ever. So I'm glad DICE have taken those choices with it to make it this. It is still incredibly strong, and if you do ever get the opportunity to use it, do pick this one up. I often find myself kind of with the other elite classes, other than this one and the tank hunter. The tank hunter is my favourite. I love that sniper rifle and the sawed-off shotgun. It's just so much fun to use. Gone off topic. They are the only ones I really pick up. The normal sentry class and the flame trooper, I just find you're so susceptible to being killed by a bayonet charge or just getting caught up from behind. I mean, that said, being caught from behind, I was very lucky in this game. There was a couple of moments, I think one just coming up now, where this guy genuinely came up behind me. I didn't know he was there, because when you're running you make so much noise, you clonk around so much because you've got all your armour, your weapon makes so much noise that people can sneak up behind you. And this guy, I'm not sure whether he spawned on the guy that I just killed, which, DICE, please fix that. I'm sure it's actually worse since you last patched it. I seem to be getting killed by so many people just spawning on someone who I've just killed. It's so infuriating. I can't believe that that's something that still happens in this game. But if you sneak up behind a sentry class, do not shoot them. Just knife them. I think it comes up here again. How did I not see him, and how does he not kill me there? They just sort of, you just come up behind them, knife them. You'll kill a sentry in one hit. It's very effective, and as I said, you make so much noise clunking around, you don't really realise people are sneaking up on you. Definitely the best way of dealing with a sentry, at least the way I kill them most of the time. Also, quickly wanted to cover, as I'm on the map, Monte Grappa. They've really got to change this map. I love the fact that it has the bunkers. I really enjoy this map. It's quite diverse. You've got some really long range combats because of all the rocks and everything. You can climb around the map really effectively, and you don't have to be on frontline engagement all the time. But when it gets to the bunkers, I wish they'd have it so when you destroyed the turrets, you could get in through the roofs. I think it would make it so much better. But as it currently stands, they've ruined it on operations, the fact that they've completely taken out the first bunker but left the second one exactly the same. Bizarre choice. But anyway, guys, let me know what your thoughts on Monte Grappa are. I'd be really interested to know. The game has come to an end. It was a 46-0 with the Sentry class. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye for now.